DGM Insights, a healthier path to sex for women.
Okay, so the healthy path is casual sex. It's ethical non-monogamy in most cases. It's a healthier path long term. Now, it's not going to stop divorces. It's not going to stop separations. It's not going to stop losing your boyfriend. But it's something that internalizes sex. It makes sex part of who you are, not part of your relationship. It's unfair to put that kind of weight on a relationship. You need to be independent as a woman. And yes, I talked to my wife about this, but you need to be independent as a person. And your sex is your interpersonal relationship. Now, men there are two kinds of guys. One is just a horny dog, or whatever you want to call him. And that's part of his hormones. That's part of how he was raised. That's part of his culture. And then there's good and bad in that idea. Now, then there's the other side of a guy who's sensitive, and a guy who likes women, and a guy who likes interpersonal relationships and is looking for that spark of a relationship. And again, sex is separate in that mindset. He's looking for something personal, and great sex is wonderful too. So, and that's something to really think about. Those are the two different guys. So there is a healthy way to pick this. Now, the abusive guy, I knew a guy who required his girlfriend, then wife, to be sexually active with him twice a day. I think years later it became once a day, but twice a day, whether she wanted to or not. Now, she confided to me that she loved sex to begin with, but then it became like washing the dishes. She didn't really want to have sex that way. So they were in a monogamous lifestyle. At least he kept trying to break that idea, but they were in a monogamous lifestyle, and she confessed that it was a joy to begin with, and then it became really old. And then there are couples whose sex diminishes to almost nothing or nothing, and they can still have a happy relationship. So the point here is to find a healthy view of sex if you're a woman and if you're a man, because I just pointed out both of those, healthy and unhealthy. So find the sex within yourself, and that's what a lot of like college age kids do. People do. They're not kids; they're adults, but they find that level of interpersonal sex. And so that's what I think is healthier than this idea that sex is a power tool or a manipulation. Also, it makes your sex more pleasurable. There's one thing I went swinging lifestyle, and I noticed that women with children tended to be much better at sex than women that think they're supermodels. I've been fortunate. I've had sexual experiences with both, but I can tell you right now, the women that had children were far better at sex. Now, that sounds weird, but there was some unselfishness about them. There was a spark where they knew reality, and it wasn't all about them. Now, they're still beautiful, don't get me wrong, and baby scars are still beautiful, don't get me wrong, but the point is that they are healthier in that way. Now, women can be healthy in sex by just internalizing it and figuring out what they want and what excites them, what would go along with what they're looking for. Same with men, but okay.